Welcome to the ZoCo Podcast. This is Cody. Today with me I have Trevor and Alex. Say hello, Trevor and Alex.
Hello, Trevor and Alex. We have a very enthusiastic Alex with us today.
We have a very enthusiastic and confused group today.
Apparently.
But we're going to have a good podcast. We're going to have a good conversation. And we are going to start off with our adventures of cleaning the pool.
Which I missed.
He did miss all of it.
He missed. He planned on coming over.
I was supposed to.
He said he was coming over, and he wasn't coming over. And so we started cleaning the pool without him. And that was a pretty nasty pool.
Well, you have to preface how long this pool had not been cleaned.
This pool has not been cleaned in over 2 years. It's a Doughboy, so it's a stand-up pool. And during the duration of me being gone, that pool sat with no use for 2 years. So, we decided that we wanted to clean it. And
it was looking pretty good. It was gross.
I mean, you say it wasn't used, but I have to correct it a little bit. It wasn't used by us.
It wasn't used by humans.
And there was quite a lot of life in that pool.
There was tons of life. There's some biological experiments going on in there.
Lots and lots of them.
It was pretty green.
Finding swamp monsters?
No, actually, I was a little depressed.
Oh.
No snakes, no frogs, nothing like that.
There was the creature of the Black Lagoon, though.
Oh.
We ran him off with a chainsaw.
Yeah, it worked really well.
But, yeah, so it started with draining it just to get rid of all the water. So we let that go. Once it was, we took it down to like 6 inches left of water after draining it. But then the pump couldn't pump any more water out. So we got in there with a shop vac and vacuumed out the water. This is how we would normally do it. Because the pump can only get so much water out. So we use the shop vac to get the rest of the water out. But it's a Doughboy, so you have to lift that vacuum, which is an 8-gallon vacuum, full of water out of that pool.
A lot.
Oh.
But Alex is the smart one here, and he said, well, why don't we just put the pump in the vacuum and pump it out? And so we did.
And it worked pretty well.
It worked out pretty well, I'd say. So we vacuumed out the water in the muck. The pump got clogged up a few times.
There was a lot of muck. I mean,
a lot.
Well, there was weeds growing on top of the thing, for Pete's sake.
Yeah. The pool was covered by a solar cover. It's to keep the water warm when you're not using it. But the wind has been blowing and the dirt has been collecting on top, as well as plant life. And was a self-sustaining
flora
biome.
And fauna.
It was pretty nasty.
Should have videoed that.
We took some pictures.
Okay.
We have some pictures, and I don't know. Did you record anything?
nothing while we were cleaning it, but after the fact, when we were filling it, I have some video there. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, there is a video for that. We could actually play that right about now.
Okay, go.
You got soaking wet. Soaking wet. Yep. For Trevor, who has no idea what's going on right now. When we start filling the pool up, we, it's this giant walled-in slip and slide.
Yeah.
So that's like the best part is when you're filling it, because you get to use it as a giant slipping slide. Well, Alex didn't want to come in the pool.
It wasn't a pool.
Well,
it was a giant walled-in slip and slide.
He didn't want to come in the giant walled-in slip and slide.
Words, Cody.
So, I'm running around doing my thing, and I just do like like a baseball slide.
Did you make it to home?
Oh, I made it to home, and that water,
And the first.
from my feet being kicked up and pushed, just completely hit Alex while he was recording with his phone. Is your phone okay?
Phone's fine. Yeah.
Good. Good thing it was the clean water, not the dirty water.
Agreed.
I think he would have lost it.
Swamp Monster would have taken it with him. This is my phone. But yeah, so now we have a pool up and clean, and we went swimming the other day. It's pretty cold.
It's nice to have back, though.
Definitely. We got summer right around the corner, and work is a killer, so it'd be nice to go swimming after work. So,
Speaking of pools, I actually saw this video of this person that decided to drain out his pool. So he takes I don't know what kind of magnum it was, but this thing was high power. So he shoots it. It just blows up.
How big was his pool?
I mean, it was a circular, probably about half the size of this pool.
So above ground, too?
It was above ground as well.
circular pool.
It's not that huge of a pool, but holy crap.
So what? He wanted to put a hole in it, but he put a large hole in it?
A little, I mean, it wasn't much of a hole. It just kind of blew apart.
It had a small entrance point, but the
Exactly.
that's probably like what 5,000 gallons of water.
Something like that.
Ours is 10, so that's a lot of water.
Agreed.
Could have drained it out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my dad would be too appreciative of that.
Hey, you could have used the 22.
Yeah. Put a hole right through the side.
It's a small hole.
Patch it later. We went to the movies yesterday.
We can't talk about that, though.
Oh, we can talk about some of it.
What?
I don't like the movie we saw.
It was all right. I was okay with it.
We went and saw Captain America Civil War. How long has that been out in the theaters?
I don't know. I wasn't
Couple
keeping
weeks.
track.
So
It's recent.
pretty recent. How long has Marvel been making movies?
A long time.
How well have they done their other movies?
I don't know. They've been doing okay, I guess. Captain America is just probably so far one of the best ones, though.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's a really good series. I didn't like the CGI in this one.
Yeah.
Very poor CGI in my opinion.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
There were some jumping scenes that were you could tell when it was a stunt person and the actual actor. You could tell when it was CGI and not the actor. And then the high school finals project of cutscenes.
There was a couple meh scenes
Yeah.
like that. I agree, but overall, good movie.
Overall, good movie. I liked it. We won't give spoilers.
You just say you didn't like it.
That's about.
You flopped in the last 2 minutes.
I like it. I don't like the fact that such a high. How do I want to say it? A company who has been doing movies consistently for a long time created something that I think was poor quality. So
Yeah, I get that.
I like the story, not the CGI.
Yeah.
So I was at the store today, right? And I was buying things.
That's usually what you do at a store, right?
Yeah, I was buying things at the store. That's what you do. So I saw a box, right? And it was a Captain America and an Iron Man box. And I was like,
Box of what?
what is this box? Because like the box doesn't really say anything. The promotional stand it's sitting on, it was just like virtual reality. It didn't say much. And so I was looking at the boxes. I picked them up, and the picture it has on it is like a virtual reality goggles, but it's designed to be like the Captain America mask or the Iron Man mask.
Oh.
It looks pretty cool, but it came in a box, and it just, I don't know, it was really weird, and it was at a grocery store, and yeah, it was just really weird.
So you couldn't try them on then? They're in a box.
No, they're in a box. You can't try it on. They didn't have a display,
That's
like a display piece or anything like that. So it was just really weird advertising, but hey, they're giving it a shot.
Also a weird place. Grocery store, you say?
Grocery store.
Yeah.
A local grocery store.
Not the typical place that I buy my tech.
No.
But I mean, it was like cardboard. It wasn't nothing fancy. It was like, I assume it's like one of those build your own kind of things.
Oh, okay.
Put the pieces together, build a box, put your phone in it.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I'd probably.
Maybe for kids. Maybe that might be what it's for.
I think that's the idea.
Sure it is. If it's in a grocery store.
Mom, I want to buy this mask.
No.
Kids probably don't even know what it is.
Nope.
Usually when you market something to somebody, you want it to appeal to a crowd.
Yeah. It's got Captain America and Iron Man on it. What more do you want?
No, it's got Iron Man. I'm good.
That is pretty funny, though. I like the tech that they use in their movies, that they use for their different characters. I don't want to talk too much about the movie Civil War, but a couple of them had arm gadgetry, things like that. I thought that was kind of neat. I've been seeing a lot of that, not only in movies, but also popping up in today's society. It's getting more and more common. We see watches these days that have all these kinds of nifty things. I mean, touchscreen watches, for example. That's a thing. I'm not sure if either of you have seen those, but
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
full touchscreen watches.
I'm looking at one right now.
Oh, this one's not a touchscreen.
Oh, it's not touchscreen?
No,
okay.
This is the one of the first ones that came out. I'm sporting a Pebble Classic, so it's been treating me really, really well. I've fallen in love with it and wouldn't go without it from this point on. But it's cool to see all this new stuff popping up and what it does for people, what it does for anyone.
I see a lot more people using smartwatches today, and I didn't think it was for me because of work. It doesn't really, like, I can't wear a watch at work. Not because of rules, but because of just convenience. But now that my job changed, I do a lot more driving. I think the aspect now of having the directions on my wrist instead of having to look at my phone every 5 minutes, I think, it might be better to get into smart watches, not Apple watches per se, because I don't have a grand to throw out here and there.
Yeah.
But
No, because I remember when smartwatches started coming out. Actually, one of my coworkers at the time got one. It's like $300 at the time, or $400. I can't remember. Like, I don't know, why would I spend $300 on another phone for my wrist when it's? But I mean, I could see the convenience of it, but for me, it's like personally, it's like I'm at work. I'm not really going to be checking my phone or anything per se. So I think it's great, but it's like at the same time, I don't have any use for it either. So
yeah, that's the thing. It comes down to what you need it for, what it can do for you. I mean, like I said, I'm working with the Pebble Classic. It's their first one, the first generation. However, they've updated their OS, and so it looks much better, runs much better, and can do a lot more than it used to, which I love. I'm glad they're still supporting it, but it is still their first one, and it does everything I need it to do. Seriously, it does. From music control to monitoring my sleep patterns and waking me up when I'm most awake, depending on how much I move. Kind of nice. I can get all my emails, my texts. I can respond to them or delete them. I can, of course, keep track of time. I'd hope a watch could do that.
yeah, that seems to be the feature that is completely overlooked, and like not even in advertising.
It really isn't.
It's like smartwatch, so you can do everything else except check the time.
It'll tell me my speed. It'll monitor, if I'm driving, it can tell me my speed. I can tell me if I'm speeding on an area, if I'm over the speed limit somewhere. Kind of nice. directions, like you were saying, Cody. So yeah, depending on what you need it for, they can work really well. And you also have to find one that works well for you. I mean, you were talking about Apple Watches. You don't want to drop $1,000. Now, they're not all grand unless you want to get the one that's gold plated.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
And then other ones, like Trevor was saying, $300-$400. You know, the Gear, the Samsung Gear, I think. I might sound like a fool now. I think it's the Gear. I'm pretty sure.
No idea.
But they get up there, but they're not all that expensive. The Pebble, depending on which one you get, the one I have, you can get now for $60.
Yeah,
I got mine. It was $70 when I got
believe
mine.
they also have them for like $300 as well.
They do, depending on how new you want to go, because they're new ones, which basically do the same thing, other than their color now. They're there as well. You have the option.
It's not worth $200 to buy a colored one.
No, it's got color and a mic, basically. Those are the things you get.
So now we can be secret agents wherever we go.
Yeah.
If there's a mic on there.
You can just say, "Okay, Google" to your wrist, and you can ask for directions. It is kind of nice.
Or Hey Siri, for those of us who use Apple.
Or Hey Siri. I think they do that.
Because I'm the only one sporting an Apple here. Which is funny because I'm not a huge fan of Apple products. I know this is gonna
Flame war?
This is gonna be a flame war, but no, it's I bought a new laptop the other day, and I looked a lot into different laptops, and going to the store and looking at laptops and looking at pricing and finding out exactly what I want. I needed something for school, not anything crazy powerful or anything. I got my desktop for that, so my laptop just needed to be something for school and just light work here and there. And I was like, well, hey, look, I've got a smartphone, an Apple product, and why not, look into a MacBook? And looking at all those are like $1,500 to $2,000 versus a PC, which is, I spent $300 on mine. I think it's crazy. I think the only difference is the logo on the outside.
There's more than that. There is more than that.
There are a lot of key differences, mostly, but
different operating system.
Different operating system.
Depends on what you want to do with it too.
Apple does use quality hardware it is meant to last a long time. A-grade stuff. Not all these other laptops and computers use that, but that doesn't mean it's going to fail in your lifetime either. Even this other stuff, which is fine. So, yeah, you pay less, but you have a higher risk of failure. That's not to say that Apple products are perfect either. Those have their failure rates as well, but statistically, they last longer and run better, for a longer period of time. However, they still don't suit my needs. They don't do what I want them to do, so I don't find myself using them either. I respect them for what they are, but don't care for the price, and they don't do what I want them to do. So,
well, because Apple, I think they put a lot more restrictions on stuff, partially because of security. They really want their products to be more of a secure line, and that's why you don't really find a whole lot of viruses on Apple computers. That's one of the big things. They're starting to come out with more viruses, of course, but Apple keeps more of a tab on that, whereas like PC are kind of on your own.
Yeah, there's truth to that. There's no safe operating system. There's no safe hardware.
No, not to say that you're perfectly safe, but there's I think there's a little bit more security with Apple products than PC, where PC, you have to get firewalls and all this other programs, and you have to watch what you go onto and do whatever.
Yeah, Apple typically tends to be, from my experience in the computer field, it tends to be more user friendly for those who aren't as tech savvy. That's not a bad thing. It's just it's just the way it is. It's nice that there's an option for people like that they can use a computer that doesn't require as much of them. Less setup, less maintenance, less everything. But if you know how to do it, you might as well do it on your own. Spend a little less and just work it on your own. I personally don't like being limited by the software that's put on machines like that. I don't like being kept in, I like to call it the walled garden of secured apps and programs and things. I don't want to download Chrome and have the Mac tell me that, hey, this was downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to use it? Yes.
I downloaded this for a reason. Yes, I want it.
So I don't care for that aspect of it personally.
It's like putting a governor on your
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
your computer.
definitely.
What I like about Apple is that it's all integrated into its stuff.
What does that even mean?
I have a phone, it's Apple. I have an iPad, it's Apple. If I had a MacBook, it's Apple. Everything that I have on one of those, I can have on all of those. It's all the same. I get it all from the same place. I don't have to go to different places to find different things. Like music. I think music was the big thing because it's all through iTunes. I've got all my music in iTunes. Very easy to just keep it stored in the same place wherever I go. But I think with different phones, you got the Android market, which is confusing to me. But that's because I don't use the Android market. So
it's confusing to a lot of people. That's the biggest complaint I've come across because I've worked with a lot of people. I've been in the IT field for a while. I've worked with a lot of people who are one side or the other, and personally I hate the fanboyism that follows it all. Either side, Android or Apple, doesn't matter. Either side. I respect both sides for what they do. I respect all of them. But it's important to understand what they can do for you. It's the same thing as the smartwatches. You just need to find one that works for what you need it to do and within your abilities. So I hate the misconceptions on both sides. Like people always, say things like they're fact, but they're just propaganda. There's plenty of it out there, believe me. So that usually goes with the fanboyism stuff. But coming back to what Cody was saying, he finds the Android market confusing, and you haven't spent a whole lot of time with Android phones or shopping for them or looking for them.
I had an Android phone, but I never really used the market because it was confusing and I didn't want to take the time to sit there and waste my time with it because I had an iPod Touch, and so that could do everything that I wanted it to do that my phone it could do if I had just taken the time to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I was misunderstanding you then. You're referring to the app and software market of the whole side of things.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I find people oftentimes who have only used iPhones, for example, that's all they've experienced with, they find the Android market, as in the phones that are available, confusing. And oftentimes I hear the biggest complaint is, oh, I tried an Android phone and it was crap. Well, there's Android phones that are $20 and there's ones that are a couple hundred. If you buy an iPhone, they're all going to be what they are. They're all going to work, but they're also all $500, $600 or more.
$700 for mine.
Oh, that just makes me cringe, man. That hurts my soul.
Yep, I got back and I just needed a phone, and so I went with what I knew because it's what I have integrated into my own system already. So
yeah. And then there's those who will shop for phones, Android phones, and they'll find one that's pretty cheap. But that's the thing with Android is if you find ones that are cheap, they're going to be cheap, slow, crappy.
You get what you pay for, whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
that's just a story of life. I mean, a lot of people, online buying is now taking a huge toll for everybody. Sports Authority, Sports Chalet, all those branches of that store are now going bankrupt and going out of business. Why? Because really anything that they sell I can just buy off of Amazon or any online service. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, thank you for listening, and we will go ahead and finish off this podcast.
Thank you for listening.
Cody's broken.
Bye, guys.